What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different. I'm not usually somebody who gets super involved in drama in the VGC scene or anything like that, but today's drama was just so damn funny that I couldn't not share it with all of you guys. So, without further ado, let's talk about a Pokemon tournament, a pretty large Pokemon tournament that is called the World Masters Cup of 2022. We're going to take a look real quick here at the Wikipedia page, where, you know, this is a pretty big tournament. There's $2,000 for the finals. There's $500 prize money for each of the 4 regional tournaments. So it's a pretty big amount of money, a $4,000 tournament going on. We have some pretty notable people who are playing in this as well. If we go through, we have players like Springs in here, Shandi in here, Mr. GX, Fire Like these are some players that are like pretty well known. You know, Liakos is in there, Fedecampo, Idchuk. Like there are a bunch of players that are well known. So I'm just gonna go ahead right now and spoil the twist of this story. This tournament does not exist. I know that sounds really weird. It just doesn't exist. Now, if we go through, you'll notice some weird things, like the fact that Mr. GX only plays on Showdown. He doesn't own a Switch. How is he playing in this tournament? Shandy and Springs have never heard of this tournament. This guy, I've never heard of this guy. Most people have never heard of this guy. As far as I'm aware, just dominated this group with like pretty good players in it. So that good for him. Over here in Europe, we have Platypus as the Swiss representative. He doesn't play anymore. Idchuk has never heard of this tournament. Fedecampo has never heard of this tournament. I think Liakos is inactive as well. It's really funny because, like, whoever put this tournament together didn't even really make an effort. Because, first of all, from a tournament organizational perspective, none of this makes any sense. Like, these are supposedly the qualifiers. It says that these are the groups, but if we look later on, as we will at the Twitter, these are the qualifiers. So, like, how did you pick these players? Like, were there national qualifiers? Was that supposedly a thing that happened? They just didn't bother to think that through? It's really funny. So, now, let's talk a little bit about the Twitter, which is great. So, we have the World Masters Cup Twitter here. World Masters Cup, where master collide. It's a great tagline. So, these guys, you can see, not a very well-known organization or anything like that. They've got some giveaway stuff going on, trying to boost up the follow numbers. Nothing too shady about that. It's pretty normal. But something that I just kind of wanted to touch on real quick is that they're only following 2 teams. They're following Generate Gaming. Not familiar with this, not really relevant. And they're following Underground Gaming. Now, if you've seen this logo before, that's where you've seen this logo before. Not only is Shadow a player for Underground Gaming, Shadow owns Underground Gaming. So we're already seeing a little bit of a spicy. What's going on? So, all right. If we go through the actual tweets they made, you know, this is the first tweet ever. Soon the World Masters compete. All right. Fair enough. Interesting. Get some hype going. Then we get this graphic. The group stage, apparently all of these different countries represented. Again, no information on how you're supposed to qualify, no information on where signups are, anything like that. But yeah, you know, I didn't see this at the time, but, you know, I would have been kind of hyped to see a Swiss flag in there, you know, cheer for my lads, whoever it is. And then we get this, you know, we're getting a couple of reveals. Jive Time. Jive Time doesn't play the Pokemon game anymore. This is the first sort of crack in the facade, right? And like here we have Bat saying, oh, Star Raikou, like that's interesting, and Star Raikou having no idea what's going on. This is from a couple weeks ago, though. This is my favorite piece of the rabbit hole. I wasn't going to go into this too early, but I accidentally clicked on the tab. This implies that the tournament was originally going to be an offline event, an in-person event, I guess in the UK, and then because the Queen died, it's now only online. Really weird to, like, just say that you were running an online tournament. I don't understand why you needed to bring the Queen into this. But, you know, okay, sure, you do you. And then finally, after this was uncovered yesterday, we have an announcement. Due to recent controversies regarding the tournament due to recent controversies regarding the tournament invites and player results through the tournament, the PWMC committee have decided to resign and give the entire PWMC to a new organizing committee to whom expresses interest after the conclusion of the 2022 PWMC. Prizes will be distributed by sponsors for group winners. There are so many things to say about this message. First of all, what? You don't just give your IP to someone else. Also, who would want this IP? Like, who would want to take this tournament and do this tournament? Just do your own tournament. There's already a bunch of baggage attached to this. Super weird. Prizes will be distributed by sponsors for group winners. No, they won't. That's not how this works at all. Sponsors pay the organization that runs the tournament, who then pay the players. The sponsors never pay the players. That is just not how... I mean, unless it's Pokemon, obviously. If Pokemon is sponsoring an event, it's different. But if you have a corporate sponsor, that's weird. So, okay, let's talk a little bit about the sponsors, which is also kind of funny. First, we're talking about this one last. Every regional tournament has a different sponsor, which is already really, really funny and weird. Lex Gamer, I don't know this company, but they appear to be a totally legit gaming chair company. Maybe. Yeah, so that's one. Generate Gaming is a sponsor. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, a connection. Are they legit? Well, this is weird. 5 years and a half ago, they tweeted looking for an EU Call of Duty roster, and that is the only tweet that they have ever made. Okay. What? Oh, right. That's... Okay, Jesus. This gets so weird. It gets weirder and weirder. AOC is apparently sponsoring Europe. That isn't happening. You can see AOC if the monitors. They are a good company. There's no shot. This is all to back up my point. There's no shot some dude at AOC is sending Liakos $500. That's just not how this works at all. So, that's weird. Where were we? We were here. Yeah. It's like, that's weird. Like, it doesn't make sense that any company would want to actually take this over. It also doesn't make sense that that the entire committee would resign and give the the tournament's not over yet, to be clear. Like, we're in the top 8 now, apparently. So, like, are they gonna finish the tournament? Because they're maintaining the tournament is real. So, like, are they gonna finish the tournament, or are they just gonna stop it and then do it again next year, run by a different org? Anyway, Shadow, I highlighted Shadow a little bit earlier. Player that nobody's really familiar with. And he gets to say that he won this group. Like, it's a crazy strong group. He's also the only person who knew about this tournament. He tweeted about this tournament. And as we mentioned, he owns Underground Gaming, who are followed by the Twitter account. So there's some weird stuff going on with that. And, the leading theory in the community is that Shadow is running this tournament. So, let's give his opinion on it. In response to Jack the Spades Man, he says, "Hi, please ask before assuming I have a role in this tournament whatsoever. They asked us to be a part of it through email back in September, and we were gladly invested in the tournament." So, to me, this... Let's look at the emails real quick. Then the most important thing, first of all, it's super easy to backdate emails. Anybody who's ever seen Dear Evan Hansen will know that. So, apparently they messaged in 3rd of September. Even if this is the actual date, it doesn't really mean much because the guy has clearly gone to a certain amount of, effort to make this look legit. Like, he didn't just make a Wikipedia page. He's, been tweeting every few days and stuff. Anyway, this is the thing that is interesting to me. So, they also say... they want to invite Khaled to participate, blah, blah, blah. And they also want to collaborate with your organization to help organize one of the groups of the tournament. Okay, so apparently they're also still in contact 10 days later. So the email that Shadow himself provides says that Underground Gaming is responsible for running the Asian qualifier of the tournament. The Asian qualifier, which notably has a bunch of players who don't know anything about this tournament. So, in a weird way, him bringing this email to us and saying, hey, look at this email. This shows that I have nothing to do with this. actually proves the exact opposite. So he's supposedly, his organization was supposed to run the Asian qualifier, and best case scenario, they just didn't invite anybody and cheated him to first place. If the tournament actually exists, they just like scammed the entire Asian region. So regardless of what Shadow says now, like he's scamming somebody. He's scamming somebody. Anyway, he gets invited, blah, blah, blah. He has another tweet, no legitimacy to my point. I have an org I own, which I legitimately, I legitimately own it. We run tournaments in the Middle East to the wide variety of games. I have no information about that. I looked really briefly into Liquipedia. There are a bunch of tournaments on Liquipedia that are run by this org. I can't verify if they're real or not. I feel like they, probably are. I don't have any evidence to the contrary, so I'm not going to say they're not. But if you look at this, this is a little weird. Shadow is just a god gamer who wins, every tournament that's organized by his tournament. And, in Unite and also in TCG and also in VGC. He wins everything. Looks a little sussy to me, but I have no evidence to show that the rest of these tournaments are fake. So we're not going to say that. Anyway. Yeah, so at this point, he has proved that he is involved, which is funny. And then also, this is the other thing as well, right? Where he's like, oh yeah, so, there was another thing as well where he was like, oh yeah, no, from an organizing, we are not involved in organizing this tournament at all. That's his defense. His defense is we as an organization are not involved in organizing this tournament. We already covered that in this email. They ask them to run the Asian qualifier. Not only that though, you could still say, okay, what if they said no? We don't see the answer. It's possible Underground Gaming said no to running the Asian tournament. Okay, here we have Underground Gaming hours before this tweet saying that they will take over the Pokemon World Masters Championship. So, which is it? Which is it, my guy? This is also great. I love this because this is just 3 different tweets of Shadow tweeting at himself on 3 different accounts. It's hilarious. It's fantastic. But yeah, so that's kind of this in a nutshell. The rabbit hole never ends. I feel like the longer I spend on this, the more I just see random stuff. We also have Victory Road Auctions as the sponsor from the World Masters Cup Asia group. This looks really weird. This could be legit, but, this is supposedly supposed to be a platform where you can buy and sell Pokemon-related stuff, but, there's no links in any of this stuff. You just have, okay, this is a Lost Origin ETB, I guess, with no links. The only link is this, which links you to a WhatsApp number. Huh? I don't understand what this is. We'll save that for another day. Probably not. Never gonna talk about them again. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this story to you guys because it's insane. Crazy. I don't know why this guy is doing this. The only 2 things that make sense in my brain are either it's very important to his self-image that he has a lot of first places on Liquipedia, or he's trying to defraud somebody, It's possible that he's trying to defraud the sponsors. If Victory Road Auctions is a real company that exists, maybe he's just telling them that this is a tournament that happened, and then at the end of it going, hey, send me my $500, I won the tournament. That seems weird to me because Victory Road Auctions also looks like they don't really exist. So I don't know. Maybe he's trying to beef up the resume of Underground Gaming so they can look for sponsors and be like, hey, look, we've won this many tournaments and these are all the Liquipedia pages. I don't know. I don't know why he's doing this. The only thing I'm sure about is that he is the one doing this, and it's super weird. But yeah, that's just about it for this video. I don't do drama on this channel. I probably won't start doing drama on this channel, but this was just such a funny, silly story that I just felt like I had to share with you guys because, while Twitter is talking about it, like the Wikipedia has been deleted. I'm looking at an old version of the page right now, and I'm sure there's a good chance that all these tweets get deleted as well. So I wanted to like immortalize it for you guys, my community, to like get to see and to have a laugh at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this weird, wacky adventure, and I'll see you guys in the next video. We've got a big one coming out tomorrow, so if you guys enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe, ring the bell, and come back tomorrow for a brand new series that I think is going to be really, really exciting. So keep an eye open for that. I'll see you guys next time. Alright, so a little bit of a postscript on this video. Big updates. I actually just got DMs from one of the Wikipedia guys between him and Shadow. So there's a ton in here that I really want to go over. But basically we can see he's like, okay, yeah, congrats. Like, can you tell me what GX used? And he says, yeah, okay, GX actually got DQ'd. Like, half my opponents got DQ'd, which is really sad. Why was he DQ'd? No info. I just got the information. I was through to the next round. This is the important part, though. Who did you get to play then? Ange, Shandy, and Springs. No. Shandy and Springs don't know this tournament exists. This is Shadow boldly lying, which tells us all we need to know. We can't trust a single thing this guy says. He's just lying. But yeah, this is the thing that weirds me out, right? He is sitting here talking about how sad it is that, like, this is fake. I mean, we've kind of talked about this already. He was like, yeah, after these guys are done at the tournament, I'll let my team take over. Why? Why would you want your team to be associated with this at all? Like, I don't know. We also kind of covered that already as well from that tweet earlier, but yeah, the most important thing that we can gather from these DMs is that you can't trust a single thing this guy says, and yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. See ya.